Wow, this is like the biggest news day ever in science fiction. Wow. Stargate returns. I'm so thrilled that I got out of bed when I'm super sick for you guys to cover this. Wow, 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 wow. Let's do this and let's just cover and unpack this statement from Joseph Malazzi. Amazing, amazing news. That it is back, it's real, and it's happening. Hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things science fiction, your real science fiction news, my friends. I'm a sci-fi writer myself, and I am available if Stargate does want to hire me on the writer's room here. This is my Justified Saga of the Nano Templar. If you like action, adventure, and space, you are really, really going to enjoy this. Check it out. It's in the description below. It's a full trilogy for you to read and unwind to. It is on ebook, print, and audio, and thank you guys for supporting our channel and supporting independent science fiction. So, wow, Amazon's been rumored to be doing Stargate work for a long, long time, and it always goes back and forth, and it always just dies on the vine. And if you're like me, you gave up on this franchise, and I really just thought it was dead, like gone forever. And I was a big SG-1 fan. I didn't like Atlantis as much. I don't know if that's if I'm in trouble for saying that, but you guys can let me know in the description below. And actually really like Stargate Universe, which I think most people kind of didn't like as much as Atlantis. So I don't know. I'm all over the map in terms of things here. But I love this franchise. I think Richard Dean Anderson really made for one of the best characters in history. And what's interesting is actually when the characters and the main characters were kind of gone and they got replaced by the Farscape characters, it was like a soft continuation of Farscape. It actually worked for like really well for like the last couple of seasons of SJ1 too. Like they did a great job, to be honest. And I was glad they were there. It's never the same, but it felt great. So, but it seemed like nothing was ever getting off the ground with this franchise. And that it just never was going to work out. So here we are, just a shocker. 14 years after the franchise airs its last episode in SGU's Gauntlet, a new Stargate series has been greenlit by Amazon. It's not a reboot or a wholesale reimagining, thank God, that will wipe the slate clean on 17 seasons and 350 hours of Stargate history. I think people are getting the picture for fans now, and this is making me very, very happy because for years, it was the common idea that reboots, retcons, reimaginings were the way to go. It was talked about in Hollywood the whole way. I remember listening to J. Michael Straczynski, I'm just going to give an aside here, give a talk about Star Trek. And this is prior to Abrams' 2009 reboot. But J. Michael Straczynski was saying like his whole idea was to reboot it and do a young Kirk and Spock and McCoy. And I'm like, nobody wants this. In fact, Stargate did a parody episode about this very concept, didn't they? Mocking that idea when Hollywood was starting to get that going with movies and the like. But it seems like they've wanted every franchise to do that, and it's failed every time. The reboots, other than Battlestar Galactica, and this is what started the craze, Battlestar Galactica in the 2000s was pretty lights out, pretty good, right? And then it's like, oh, let's all do this, right? And it became a massive trend problem. And every reboot or prequel or origin or reimagining, it really just ended up a failure outside of that. And it was like the one outlier. But for some reason, every studio wanted to try to capture that over and over and over again. It was annoying. So thank God. It's a new series will be a perfect jumping on point for first-time viewers while at the same time honoring the existing past. Beautiful. The reason for that is the new series was created by longtime franchise veteran Martin Garrow, yay, who worked on SG-1, Atlantis and Universe, yay. And he wrote The Storm, The Eye, Duet, First Strike, Beam, All My Sins Remembered, and more. This is great news. I've never been so... this is like not rage... I'm not going to rage bait. I'm not going to say it's too woke. I'm excited. Joining the production team is Brad Wright, another great name to bring... I'm so excited. This has got me stoked. Like I said, I'm getting out of bed for this. Co-creator and co-showrunner that all came before Stargate SG-1, Atlantis, and Universe. Martin has kindly offered yours truly a role on the project, and I have happily accepted. Awesome. This is great. Joining the production of the new series, we already got that. Martin's been developing a show for a while now. A little over a year ago, he reached out and asked, want to read something cool? That something, it turned out, was his pilot script for a new Stargate series. Now, I obviously can't say too much about the content at this point, but I can reassure you that it embraces everything that made the original Stargate so great. The heart, the humor, the rich mythology, the exploration, action-adventure, compelling, endearing characters, and the overall sense of optimism and fun that made you fall in love with Stargate. And that is the one complaint with Universe, is Universe tried to go a little darker modern with it, right? and try to get away from the campiness a little bit. And that was its detriment. I still liked it. I thought it was really good, but it was a detriment of tone that didn't quite work out comparatively. And so, and that's because everybody tries the dark sci-fi thing. So I'm glad that they are keeping this in mind. This is a very big statement right here, understanding what Stargate was supposed to feel like, and I appreciate that. So you're in all for a treat eventually, yes. Now, putting this production together is going to take some time, even though Martin has already done a lot of prelim heavy lifting. Writing the pilot script and series overview that details the show, its world, its characters, as well as his plans for a first season and beyond. Between now, the series premieres somewhere down the line. The writer's room must be assembled. Like I said, I'm available. Stories need to be spun, scripts written, prep started, crew hired, actors and cast, and suddenly a Stargate series was produced. It'll take a while, but Martin shares my philosophy when it comes to dialing in the fandom. So expect to receive updates throughout the prep, production, and post-success, concept art, behind-the-scenes photos, etc. Get ready. We're heading through the gate one more time. Chevron 8 is locked. Let's roll. Oh my gosh. What a statement. And I appreciate this right here. And I'm very, very thrilled. Now, they do have a showrunner attached to this. And this showrunner attached to this is my only concern about this, because they are bringing back all these great writers right here, which are great. And I'm glad these people are involved in it. And I hope that this doesn't detriment. But the showrunner that they've got involved is the guy who did the Quantum Leap reboot. And Quantum Leap was a perfect show that did not need to be rebooted. And they rebooted it, and they went woke with it, and that scared me. So I don't want to like poop on the news or anything like that, because I'm finally excited about something. And like I said, they got the names. This isn't like a Daredevil Born Again, where it's like, okay, we're going to cash in on the Daredevil brand, and then we're going to come back and we're going to hire all new writers who you've never heard of before, and they're all nepotistic people at Disney, and they don't understand what made that series great. That's what Daredevil Born Again is versus the Daredevil show that was the Netflix show. This has the same principles involved, which is a big deal. But the showrunner has a bad track record. So let's hope that he understands, and I hope he watches this video, that he needs to listen to these people. These are the greats. They need to be given a wide berth. They don't need to change things. Nothing needs to be redeveloped for a modern audience. We just want Stargate again, and that will be the thing. And so my estimation is what this is going to be, because he says new jumping on point, etc., is this is going to be a Stargate, the next generation scenario. And this is what studios are doing more and more going forward. I think they understand that the IPs that we love, doing the reboots doesn't work. Recasting characters that are beloved really just feels cringe. Any prequels just don't work, right? It's just awful. Reimaginings don't work. When you do something and you take the ethos of it and you set it and you go, wait a minute, we had Stargate in the 90s. Now we have Stargate in the 2020s. The U.S. military is doing its thing, and we have a new cast and crew who are their own people, their own characters. They can develop on their own. We're going to like that way, way more, and we're going to respect that way, way more than trying to just capitalize off of brand skin suit imagery. And that seems to be a trend that's happening right now, because it's happening in Star Trek also. And I have a Star Trek channel, JDA Talks Trek, where I broke some big news also, which you should go over and run over and subscribe to as well. It's been a big day for sci-fi. It's been crazy. But, and yeah, I just spun off Trek into its own channel because for some reason Star Trek kills my algorithm. I don't know why. But I think they're starting to get it. I think they're starting to understand that if they really get creative with things and build that next generation feel, that it actually opens you up to audiences to be even bigger than what it was before. And reboots don't do that. All they do is turn off the old audience, and then they chase this modern audience that's not there, and it never works out for them. So this is they seem to be like, there's coded words in here I talked about already that feel like they're on the right track, and I hope that's the case here. What do you think about this? Are you giving Stargate a shot? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. Hit the like and subscribe button. And if you like my thoughts on sci-fi and the like, check out my Justified Saga, the Nano Templar. It's in the description as well. And I appreciate everybody who reads.